Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Monza, the Temple of Speed, down here for Kenco F1 round number 2 in the 2.5 series. It's going to be a bit slow off the start though, intermediate conditions. It's looking to quickly transition into the dries. Drivers will have to adapt rather quickly off the grid. Quick look at the circuit then. Peak and Max Chapman, a bit of disappointment for Max Chapman, starting that far back down when he's fighting for the championship. Taylor Hume and Smits are going to be P13 and P14. Gomez and Harper are going to make up P15 and P16. Harper had a bit of an incident earlier on in the race with the safety car. Jay Robinson and Ben Mitchell didn't qualify at all, so anybody from this point is just going to be in random order. I'm joined here today by Ian Hanmore, who's going to be joining me at Monza.
Oh my god. Hello. Sorry, I've just had a panic moment for the last like 2 minutes. I don't think half that intro actually played on the stream. I do apologize. Hello, welcome guys. I hope you can hear us. Can you hear us? Give us a yes in chat. But welcome down in Monza, everybody. Hope you're all doing very well. And happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Heard from like position 13. Okay, it's fine. We've got it sorted. But yeah, hopefully you're doing well, Casper. Good to hear from you even.
Yeah, absolutely. Joel Foxall now on pole position for the first time in his Kenco F1 career. He's now leading the championship, obviously, with the sprint race points being given out. His championship competitor at the moment, Max Chapman, at P12.
Yes, can we just get an audio check, guys, out of 10 as well? Just while we're doing the formation lap, we are going to have a look at Joel here on his formation lap. But yeah, are we sort of a little bit quiet? I can turn myself up, I can turn Casper up. 10 out of 10, a little bit. Okay, it should be alright. I don't know what I've done with my routing table, but Joel, I might need another Discord call after this stream. But hopefully it will be okay. If you can hear the cars or the F1 cars, we should be alright. The leaderboard will update as well. But we have got 19, I believe 19, yes, 19 drivers, all raring and ready to go on a wet Monza that is looking like the forecast is going to turn dry in a little bit. But yeah, thank you all for joining, and hopefully you enjoyed the real life Grand Prix today, and we're going to do much the same, and hopefully not have too much. Well, we'll find out what happens in turn 1, but yeah, should be good.
Looks like 4 drivers have been disqualified from the formation.
Oh yes, lovely.
So a lot of contact, clearly not quite sure. They're going to have cold tyres for the start, but looking at the championship, it's going to get interesting. You know, both on driver and constructor. Ferrari are closing in after that performance by Callum yesterday, putting it P3. I mean, Ferrari here have to be ecstatic, you know, and, you know, with Max Chapman down in P11 and Josh Romero in P4, I mean, it's looking great for Ferrari at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you guys didn't tune into the sprint, we had sprint qualifying yesterday, and then we had obviously main qualifying on Friday. It was a sprint weekend here. But yeah, I mean, the sprint did sort of change up the pack a little bit. And yeah, Ferrari in P1 and P7 there, with Max Chapman all the way down in P11. He'll definitely be wanting to make up some places today. Casper Meach, the graphic, actually working now in P9. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this start, to be honest with you. Hopefully it won't be a bowling ball into turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like there's been some more drivers disqualified. More notably, Max Chapman.
Oh yeah.
Noob. You know, the championship contender at the moment. Absolutely, what a noob.
I know, right? That's 6 drivers he's currently on. Oh, Adam Forbes as well. They're all... I mean, they're not. It doesn't mean they're out of the Grand Prix. It just means that they get teleported to the start of the grid with cold tyres. So, yeah, they've obviously come into a little bit of contact, but they won't be too happy because they'll be on cold tyres for the start of the Grand Prix, which isn't great off the marks. But hey ho, hey ho, and yeah, there won't be a Ferrari spinning. Hopefully not.
Before the lights come on, who are you betting on to win this Grand Prix then?
Oh, that's putting on the pressure here. To be honest with you, but to be honest with you, I actually think it might be a Ferrari double podium potentially. I don't know. I feel like Callum's got something under his sleeve that he could definitely gain a few positions, but we'll have to wait and find out. What about you?
I fully agree. Yeah, Callum definitely going to be on that podium. That's Michael. He performed amazingly in the sprint, so you know this man can do absolutely anything by the seams of it.
Certainly so. As we're going to ride on board here with Joel just before that. Actually, no, but let's not do that. Let's do. Oh, I can't see the lights though. How does Callum do it? Where he can see the... Oh, there we go. That's... Oh, no, that's the back of the grid. Oh, well.
Right, it looks completely yellow.
I just want to see the lights. It's a yellow flag. We're waiting for players.
It was a little bit, yeah.
Oh, I can't see the lights.
I think the grid's formed up, is it not? Yeah, I can't
yeah.
either. Well,
we're waiting for hikes. That would be why. That would be why. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Alright, 5 lights up and ready. All drivers are on the grid, and off we go. Joel Fox, so I think a brilliant start. Hikes are stalled. And that's contact at the back. A lot of contact between Archie and Hikes, and I think there was one more involved there. But Joel Fox will P1 into turn 1.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. There was definitely a stall there, and that collision's at the back as Aston Martin goes off there. We're following all the drivers round through turn 1, taking it nice and easy. Both the Red Bulls do get a clean start there. Max Chapman moves up 4 places there into turn 1. As the Aston Martin does drop back loads. Hikes is already got a drive-through penalty there. I'm not too sure if he stalled the engine. But yeah, he's already down into P19. He won't be happy with that. And Middlefell and Hartley, both the Mercedes at the back there, who got a little bit clapped in that. And look, Callum is P3.
Yeah, absolutely. Already up into the podium positions, but let's not count Max out of it. Already up into P7. Zach P lost 10 positions. He's having an awful start. I think a lot of damage. And Hikes' car did in fact stall, and he's got a drive-through penalty now.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that was a lot cleaner than I first thought it would be. But obviously the rain will clear up in like sort of, 10-15 minutes or so, looking at the weather radar. Josh up to P4 there, as it looks like the Alphas are just switching as they're coming down the straight. But yeah, the pit stop strategy is saying today, I'm not too sure if I believe that, but changing onto the Inters, but I don't think that will be the case.
Yeah, Casper Mitch ballsy move into Ascari, goes around the outside of Adam Forbes and comes out on top. What a move.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. The Haas already up into P5. I believe he started P9, P10. So yeah, lots of positions gained, lots of positions lost as well. As Jay Robinson is actually up into P11 as well, which is really good for the McLaren team. But not so good for Zach down there in P12.
Yeah, Max Chapman is now on the down, battling with Adam Forbes on the straight. Adam looks like he's just going to let him go. Not really battling, not using any of the battery realistically, so that's going to be an easy move down into turn 1. Yeah,
I might have to restart the... Oh, there we go. The HUD graphic is working. Let me remove... there we go. So yeah, we might see Max Chapman here take an overtake on Casper Meach round the outside onto turn 3 here. He will have... This means basically Max will have the better entrance into the next turn as he gets a very nice clean overtake on the Haas. Up into P5 already, just behind his teammate. So yeah, absolutely incredible stuff already from them drivers.
Of course, already 6 positions made, and we've had, I think, 2 people in the box, Hikes and Archie, obviously
yes,
the 2 people who have had conflict in the start, and Adam Forbes, a little bit of oversteer, down into the first less move, that might give Alex an opportunity down into Ascari.
Yeah, certainly so. We've just seen those leave the pits here, as Peak looks to be trying to eye up a move out there on Adam Forbes, but he seems to be... He's within reaching distance, but obviously DRS is disabled. Until it does clear up a little bit on the track.
I'll tell you who's made a bunch of moves. It's Matthew Widdowson, already up into P15, eyeing a move on Ben. He's going to try and look to get Ascari just right and might be able to get a run down into Parabolica. Yeah,
it's definitely the drivers are all evening themselves out a little bit. Quite within, most drivers are all within a second there, as Callum does set the fastest lap just behind his teammate, followed by Josh, followed by Max. They're all setting fastest laps here, but Max Chapman did claim that eventually. On the fastest lap, but obviously they will be all overtaken as the Grand Prix goes on. Yeah, Widdowson dropped it back a little bit there from Ben, but he might have a lunge into turn 1. We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, take a look at Smiths. A lot of conflict down into turn one, a lot of positions lost here. And I think that's going to be Zach P, who's trying to claw back his positions from the original start, who lost 10 positions, and he's going to make it work.
Yeah, nice regain there from Zach, who did actually take the exit onto turn one. It's pretty much from, I'm pretty sure he was like 17th, 16th. So yeah, really good to see Zach back into P11 there. And yeah, the drivers are sort of settling in nicely, but we might get some really early pit stops here for the undercut, for the pit stop strategy. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, Max Chapman now following his teammate right behind him, like you said, gone past Casper Meach, so now he's going to be looking to try and go for Callum, move himself up into that podium position for the championship. Obviously P2 now by 1 point after that sprint qualifying session.
Yeah, P2 in the drivers, 1 point behind Joel. He's definitely going to want a podium today if he can pull it out. But there might be some team orders here. I'm not too sure. Josh won't be happy, or he might be happy. I'm not too sure to let his teammate pass. But yeah, Max is closing in now as we see Joel.
Yeah, the yellow flag in the second chicane. Yeah, it was Ryan Harper who I think spun out the second, out the second chicane, and looks like his whole front wing is gone, so he's going to have to box with that one.
Unlucky for Harper there in the Mercedes. Yeah, might be an early pit stop, but it's too early for the slicks, to be honest. He's going to have to put on another pair of Inters.
Yeah, of course, that's going to bring you back one whole pit stop. You don't really want to do that to yourself, but out of Parabolica, two drivers fighting, Dylan Hartley and Smits, going down into turn one, both using all their battery available.
Yes, there we go. Hartley there on the inside, taking over, or overtaking Smits there. As Smits is trying to fight this back. He doesn't want to give up that position easily, but it does look like it is Dylan's turn into turn one. It's making that stick.
Of course, looked like Dylan might have had a bit more downforce. Definitely braked a lot later. But just behind them, Ben and Matthew Widdowson, a little bit of oversteer from both the drivers.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot of that, I think, and losing the rear, because obviously the track is drying up a little bit now, but they're obviously going to try and find the wet patches to make use of those intermediate tyres. As we see Robinson here closing in on Taylor Hume. Not too sure if these parts of the tracks are the best for overtaking, but we never know with Jay. He does like to be spontaneous sometimes with his racing.
Of course, a bit of spontaneous, you know, you can pull off some incredible moves, especially in the wet. But taking a look up front, Max Chapman got past his teammate within a second now of Callum. So he's going to try and just bring that gap down and, you know, push that podium position.
Yeah, he's now obviously I'm not too sure actually on the time period. That's 1.3 seconds behind Callum here. Callum had a really good start, up 4 positions, and Max is currently up 7, I believe. I will get the graphic on soon. But yeah, absolutely, yeah, just absolutely insane. I like the word absolutely.
Yeah, we've got the grid separating into smaller packs now, fighting for different amounts of positions. But, you know, it's pretty impressive how close these drivers are staying, especially in these conditions, where, you know, usually the skill gap gets thrown pretty far wide, and Matthew Widdowson a bit of oversteer once again out of Parabolica.
Yeah, it's I'm actually proud of all the drivers, to be honest. We've got all 19 still in the Grand Prix. Not any of them has actually been retired yet, and hopefully I'm not going to say yeah, actually. Hopefully they all do make it to the finish line at the end, as we see quite a risky move there by Mitchell. However, he does make it stick, and he's now sandwiched between a Haas and an AlphaTauri here, which could be interesting as the Haas is trying to go in the overtake on the inside. Ben's had to take it wide, go on the marbles of the track, but yeah, he might have to concede that position to the Haas into the next corner.
Of course, he goes for a dive on Matthew Widdowson on the entry into the second chicane. Doesn't make it stick, but I think that was Ben's fault in turn one. He compromised himself trying to fight Smits, and that opened the window for Widdowson.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Bradley, this is PC only, buddy, unfortunately. So yeah, it's not on console. I do apologise.
Take a look at Max Chapman once again, already closing in on Callum. You know, he's pretty much closed it by another half a second. So he's pushing both sides to the limit. Got a pretty good setup on, I can tell you that. And he's closing in on Callum. Look at that exit of Parabolica. He's just finding the grip absolutely everywhere.
Ooh, wow, there's lots of people now going to the pits. That is Joel, Andre, Max as well. They're all going to be probably putting on the slicks. It does look a little bit drier in the sky, but I'm not too sure if it's too early, if they made the right call, if they've made the right decision here.
All the drivers jumping into the pits. Max Chapman more notably putting on the soft compound tyre, but everyone around him is going on to the mediums.
Yeah, that's a very interesting strategy there by Max Chapman on the softs, as we see more softs actually go on the AlphaTauri there, so he's not the only driver to do that. Yeah, Joel's also gone on the mediums, as Callum, Josh, Smits, they all remain out on the track, still on those inters, probably going for the overcut, but we'll find out if the undercut or the overcut does indeed make a difference here.
I'll tell you what, I think the people who pit made the right decision. Look at Smits getting just eaten up there by Max Chapman. He's just got like grip absolutely everywhere. I think people who continued going on their inters are going to be struggling now.
Yeah, there's a virtual safety car. I'm not too sure. All the drivers have to slow down to 40%.
Ryan Harper, I think, out of the second chicane. There seems to be a lot of debris. But oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I believe there's a car on the side of the track there. Without a front wing. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that. I'm just trying to flick over to them if I can.
I'll tell you what this means though. Joel Vauxhall 20 seconds behind Josh and Callum. This means they get a free pit stop. So the people who stayed out are going to remain ahead of the people who pit.
Yeah, that is not good for the people who did pit, because that means, yeah, like you say, if the virtual safety car does remain, then honestly, GG's to both Callum and Josh here. They're going to benefit hugely from this, as all the drivers obviously slowing down now. They're going to get a free pit stop out of this, and they could even be in front of Joel here.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks like it's going to be a little bit tight. I don't think they're going to remain ahead. Just too much time lost, but it's definitely going to be close. As Joel comes up to that timing line, once you hit that timing line, you know you've got free delta.
Yeah, exactly that. As it looks like Callum is just leaving the pits along with the Red Bull of Josh. Now it would be interesting to see. Oh, I'm not too sure if they've actually left. They just left the pits now. So yeah, Joel and Andre do indeed keep their P1, P2, but they're obviously much closer now.
That is really close. Max Chapman, I mean, I think the order has pretty much stayed the same, but it has just tightened up the pack a little bit.
Yeah, certainly so. Josh obviously back just behind his teammate there of Chapman, Meach in P6, Peak in P7, and then we got the McLaren of Jay Robinson still overtaking. Oh no, the virtual safety car's ended. That would be why. As there's like loads of people coming in here into turn one.
Yes, and we've had word from race control that the DRS is now going to be enabled. So you know, pretty much from here it's go time. Max Chapman through the second Lesmo, very close to Callum. You know, for that podium position.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a... Oh, I'm on Josh here. I'm about to say, it's a bit of a fight here. Chapman's definitely going to want to get ahead of Callum as soon as he can. Chapman is on the soft tyre compound, so he is in the faster tyres. But obviously, Callum does not want to give up that position this early on. We're on lap 7 of lap 27. Still 20 laps to go. And yeah, the front runners are all on mediums here, so we could see some nice overtakes from the soft runners.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if Callum holds onto that position, Max Chapman has pretty much no chance. He needs to get past the grid. He's on the softer compound. They're going to degrade him much faster. He has to make another pit stop, so he's crossing his fingers for another safety car. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, we'll ride on board here with Max Chapman. Hopefully the graphics are working there as he's going to go on the inside here. Oh, as Callum's going a little bit close there, but Max did make the move stick. As he does take into turn 1 there. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there from Max. Callum's regained that position. So yeah, that one little mistake by Max, that cost him there.
He's going to be getting absolutely frustrated behind Callum here. He needs to get past him. That mistake cost him the overtake.
Oh, Gomez retired.
That might cost him even making... yeah, I believe that was on the exit of Ascari. And it's going to cost him making more moves.
Yeah, it's a full safety car now, so all the drivers will be bunching up together. I would like to know what happened with Gomez there in his AlphaTauri. He is on the side of the track there with a tyre missing. So I'm not too sure if he's collided with a wall there on the exit. I don't believe he made any contact with any other drivers. But yeah, that is a full safety car now. So yeah, the whole grid's obviously pitted. Whether or not they pit again, I don't think it will be a good idea, to be honest, Casper.
Yeah, absolutely not. You know, you don't really want to pit once you just pit again. All the grid's bunched up. You're just going to give away free positions. The only people I would say that have to box is near the end. You know, you're already at the back. Might as well pop on some fresh rubber, get a little bit more pace, and you know, see what you can make do with that.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting to see though, because most of these soft runners, they're gonna be going for that 2-stop strategy in a 50% race, unless they can make these softs last another 20 laps, which it does seem quite a long, a lot of a chunk. But again, they might have benefited from that with the safety car because it will be using less of the tires.
Yeah, as we've talked about, the C3 is going to be the optimal tyre here. You know, it doesn't have that much degradation. It doesn't have poor pace, as we can see. Callum pretty much defending from Max Chapman. And that softer compound is going to degrade a lot faster. It's going to get a lot more tyre there. But I reckon he can make it work, you know.
Oh,
and there's been massive contact.
I've just seen the Alpine there smash into a barrier of Alex Peak. Oh no, is that an AlphaTauri? I'm not too sure. Was we looking at the same thing?
It was an Alpine that hit Callum. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, there might have been multiple collisions, but under a safety car as well. I'm not too sure if that would be any racing incidents or if the stewards want to investigate that after the race. Squiggly
Yeah, not
squaggly.
sure what happened. Absolutely
Yes.
squiggly squaggly coming out the first chicane now. That's what I was watching. Andre, I
Hmm.
think, might be spun out and he
Oh
got
yeah,
hit by
Andre.
Callum.
Yeah, he's down to P5 now.
Yeah, that's what
Between
I was
Adam
watching.
and Adam and Josh. I did see him on the side of the track, but yeah, all the drivers all bunching up now behind that safety car, with a Ferrari 1-2, a Red Bull 3-4. So yeah, our predictions at the moment, I mean, looking strong for Ferrari both on podiums.
Yeah, and don't the Red Bulls just look mean? The two
Hmm.
competitors for the championship, both drivers and constructors, are pretty much right next to each other. Two teams top four. You know, this is what we're here for. This is racing. So once the safety car restart gets underway, I can imagine Max getting a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, obviously you need to understand both the Red Bulls are on the soft tyres, both the Ferraris are on the medium tyres. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, do they push straight away and use up those tyres, or do they sort of hold back a little bit and keep their tyres and make that push at the very end? That we'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, like you say, really good to see. These obviously, yeah, I'm pretty sure these are top four in the constructors as well. All racing and battling for well, until it goes green in one more lap. I believe the safety car will come in at the end of this lap here.
Yeah, like you've said, both teams are just on one strategy. You know, there's no alternate strategy on any of the drivers. So Red Bulls are going for soft, Ferraris are going for mediums. I genuinely cannot tell you who I think is going to come out on top, you know. These are two very
Hmm.
different strategies with two very different mindsets, and it's all up to the driver.
Yeah, if let's go and take a quick look. I'm sorry that it's going to freeze here, but let's go and have a look at positions made and lost here. So we've got Chapman up 8 positions with Callum up 5, and with both Dylan Hartley and Matthew Widdowson up 10 places.
Yeah, Dylan Hartley and Matthew Widdowson, I believe it was Archie who got caught up at the start on Hikes' car
Hmm.
got stalled. So he's going to go down 8. That is very unfortunate for him. But yeah, Matthew Widdowson from pretty much last on the grid, P19,
Yeah.
and Dylan Hartley, P18. You know, they've just worked wonders from the back of the grid.
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment, yeah, they've made the most positions. Unfortunate for Zach, they're down 12 and Hike's down 11. But I believe they've had extra pit stops and they've had I believe one of them did sort of crash into a ball. So understandable there. But yeah, Josh currently keeps his position and Joel as well. I'm not too sure what's happened with Robertson there. He's off the track. He's lost his front wing.
I didn't actually quite catch that. I'm assuming that was a bit of a oversteer of a second Lesmo. I didn't actually quite catch that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Jay because the safety car's coming in this lap. He's going to have to pit for a new front wing. He's going to be all the way back at the back.
Yeah, disaster from McLaren. Both McLarens made up a lot of places from the race start. Basically, both of them are up into the points, and now that's just been denied. So that's going to be
Hmm.
unfortunate. But on the safety car restart, I think Callum's job is just to hold back Max Chapman.
Yeah, certainly so. I'm not too sure. Is the safety car coming in this lap? Have we got confirmation
I
of
don't
that? Or
think
is it
so.
going around again? It's
I
going
think it
round
might be going
again.
around again, waiting for
Ah,
the
damn
last
it, Jay.
drivers.
I blame Jay. It's all Jay's fault.
At least Jay doesn't have to be like 40 seconds behind the grid when he pits now, so I guess that's
Yeah,
kind of
this is
good for him,
benefiting
yeah.
Jay very nicely, I must say. As I'm not too sure as oh yeah, he has gone in the pits as well. And I'm not sure, will he serve that 3-second time penalty he has as well, as he's falling down the order?
I don't think so. I don't think you
No.
can serve penalties under. I know you can serve penalties under the safety car. I just believe it's not drive rules.
Ah, yes, that
Um,
makes sense. So we might see that time penalty there go. As hopefully, I mean, we're on lap 11 now. This is the third lap of the safety car, so we should be able to go racing again soon.
See, the
Merc
safety car's been
positioning
staying up
accurate.
for a long time, and I really don't know who this is benefiting, whether soft
Oh.
runners or medium runners. You know, on medium runners, you
Yeah.
can definitely make it to the end with a lot more tyre life. But for soft runners, you know, you've got more pace, you can pit a lot earlier, you can take them a lot longer. So it's very hard to tell who's going to come out on top here just based on the tyre choice at the moment.
Yeah, it's hard to say, to be honest. I can't call it either. As we can see, the only driver out on the hard tyres is Alex Peak in P12 there. Definitely going to the end with those. But again, it's a different strategy and it could work for him.
Of course, different strategies and, you know, like I said, different mindsets. It's all up to the driver whether you want to be aggressive, conservative, defend a lot more, or, you know, push a bit harder. And I think for Max Chapman, you know, starting from pretty much, well, for him, the back. And a safety car will be in this lap, you know, he wants to just break through the field. He wants to make up as many positions as possible.
Absolutely here as we see the Ferrari of Joel and Callum there starting to get the heat in the tyres. As all the drivers, should I say. Hopefully there's no collisions here. They're looking very close on that angle there. But yeah, they're getting ready to go racing again. Callum's going to do his teammate a nice job here of slowing the Red Bulls down.
Yeah, take a look at that. All the drivers weaving, trying to get temperatures into the tyres before the race restart. Safety car is pretty much into the pits. Joel doesn't really want to start a bit too early. You don't want to cross the timing line when the safety car isn't in yet because that will result in a penalty. But it looks like he's holding back. He's got his tyres warmed up, and I think that's go time.
He's gone green. Here we go. Around the last quarter here, we're on board with Josh to see the safety car restart. Callum has not done such a great job. However, I mean, in Joel's opinion, that's a great job there. It's gone green here as we're following the drivers down into turn 1. That is Max Chapman right on the back of Callum. He's got the inside, but who's going to be braking later here into turn 1?
Better rubber, you know, soft compound tyres, and that's going to be better braking. Max Chapman out the second turn. He's going to be coming out on top in P2. Callum and Joel are not going to be happy about that as he goes in pursuit.
No, Joel is definitely not going to... He's going to be sweating a little bit here as his rival, Max Chapman, is behind him, potentially already closing in. He is on the soft tyre compound as well, as Josh O'Mara might have a snap at Callum as well. They're all very close to each other at the moment. This is a great restart from all the drivers.
Yeah, Callum broke a little bit too late for his own liking, went deep into the second chicane and had to cut the corner. That will be investigated by the stewards. Josh probably won't be too happy about that as he's kept his position.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's great racing from all of them. I mean, they'll be happy with their positions at the moment. However, there's still a long race to go and a lot can happen. But yeah, as they come through the chicane, I'm not so sure what it is, but Ascari, that one. And then yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Max Chapman within a second here. The DRS is still disabled. I believe it will enable on the lap following this one.
Yeah, you would be correct, but Max Chapman with DRS or without that new rubber, he's pretty much already got up within half a second. That just shows the pace difference. Hopefully the degradation difference isn't as significant for Max, because that would be absolute heartbreak. But Josh O'Meara on Callum now.
Yes, here we go. Josh getting the toe there of Callum. Callum's not going to want to give up this position here as he's taking it very wide, giving that position to Josh, almost come into contact. We don't want another Hamilton and Verstappen there, but Josh does indeed get that position there, and that's Callum down 2 positions.
Callum gets pushed out of the podium positions, but he's not given up just yet. He goes around the outside into the second chicane, but I don't think he's going to have much of a say in this. Yeah, Josh on that soft compound, he's going to be able to brake way later. Yeah,
again, it's a difficult one because the soft run is doing really well right now. But it's whether or not they can keep those tyres going, or you know, if the mediums were the good choice. As we see Max Chapman here closing in for the the P1 of the race here. As they come down into the we get that chicane, and we'll see if it. Oh my God, they got very close there.
Yeah, Max Chapman are very close to the back of Joel Fox.
Yeah, certainly so. So yeah, we'll see what happens here because there isn't a straight coming here down on the final straight. Max really wants that position, but I'm not sure if he can. Hello, Hassan. Welcome, buddy, to the stream. Good race so far. That's all right, not worries. We're halfway through almost as we're going to see Max Chapman here take an overtake on Joel Foxall for the lead of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, DRS or not, I think Max Chapman wants to get past around the outside heading into turn 1. Joel Foxall right beside him, and I think he's going to be able to brake way later as we saw there. Going around the outside, Joel keeps the position into turn 1, leaves a lot of space into turn 2, and Max Chapman is still behind Joel Foxall.
Yeah, certainly so. Joel is very good at defensive here as they come around here side by side, wheel by wheel. We're not even too sure quite who's in the lead of the race at the moment.
Joel Foxall on the inside, that is the advantage, but he backs out. He thinks the better of it. Gives Max Chapman the lead, but you know, DRS is just right around after the 2 Lesmos, but Max Chapman already 6 tenths ahead.
Absolutely incredible for Max to think that he started in sort of P11 or something and he's already up 10 places into the lead of the Grand Prix. Now it's whether or not Joel can keep within that second of Max or if he's just going to pull away here, as it looks like Josh has got DRS here and using a little bit of overtake. Oh no, not DRS. Oh, safety car. Oh.
Yeah, so we've had the spin out the second chicane, and that's Hikes. That's heartbreak for the Alfa Romeos. Both Alfa Romeos out the Grand Prix, and the only 2 cars that are out at this time.
The racing only just got going again. What is this? It's fine. We can have another safety car as we see it leaving the pits there. As Hikes is unfortunately out. That's both Alphas now. They've not had a great weekend. As all the drivers now slowing down, ready to regroup again for another few laps. Again, it would be interesting to see if they pit, and they do. Oh! Did you see that from the Ferrari?
Yeah, Joel Foxall was going was looking like he was going to follow Max Chapman in, but he pulls out at the last second. Both Red Bulls in. That's a double stack.
Yes.
And it looks like a lot of them are following the two Red Bulls in.
That's definitely impeded Josh there. Josh just had to remain at least a few 4 seconds there behind Max Chapman. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that played into Red Bull's hands or Ferraris, but Ferraris have stayed out on the mediums. And all the soft runners that came in to change their tyres.
Yeah, I think they've both gone onto mediums. Both the Red Bulls, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, both the drivers on medium, so that's definitely an interesting choice. I will say, 12 laps to go. I don't think medium is the way to do it, though.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because obviously all these medium runners, if the Ferraris are going till the end on these mediums, they're going to be a lot, you know, worse medium tyre deg. But again, I don't know if that will be enough. That they're going to keep in that P1, P2. However, yeah, Max Chapman down to P7 now after that pit stop. Jay Robinson up to P6 without stopping, and Zach back up to P5 and peak as well. Casper Meacham P3 as well. So yeah, complete change of the order, to be honest with you. So we'll see even more racing, I think, on the second half of this race.
Yeah, a lot of jumps in positions, a lot of positions, you know, changed out. And, you know, that showed all the strategies there. People who went for a one-stop, I think, got the better of it now. Josh getting jumped by 2 cars when he was held in the pits behind Max. So that definitely is not what he's looking for.
Yeah, Josh was obviously Josh didn't benefit at all from that double stack there by Red Bull. A late call, which obviously might have been that second decision, but those little decisions could, you know, they could have a big effect by the end of the race to see who's on podium.
Yeah, Max Chapman, he is, like you said, they will be on the newer rubber, on the newer medium, but I don't know how beneficial that is. Jay Robinson already up 10 positions, so, you know, after that front wing issue with the safety car, I think that pit has benefited him majorly.
Yeah, certainly so. I mean, it's interesting to see as well. We've got Alex Peak here in P4. He went on the hards, and I don't think he's got a pit again, to be honest with you. I know they're the slower tyre, and he's might be overtaken a little bit, but he's done really well to creep up to P4 there.
Yeah, it was a bit more of a mystery, and Zach P as well. You know, he had an awful first lap, losing 10 positions, pretty much on his original position, but even more interestingly, Casper Meach in P3.
Yeah, a Haas in P3, you know, paraded by the safety car, Ferrari and a Haas. It's almost like we're in the 2022 season, but not quite yet. That will be coming soon.
Yeah, and Casper Meach, it does say he had 2 stops, but I'm not quite sure what tyres he was on. Let me just double check that real quick.
No problem.
Yeah, he is on the medium tyre. He boxed shortly after going onto the soft, so...
Oh, wow.
It's going to be very hard. Will he make these last? You know, that's the question we're all asking ourselves, and if he does, it might be a possible podium. Yeah,
I mean, and to be honest with you, Casper, this has been actually a really great race so far. We haven't really spoken much about the Williams. I feel like they've sort of kept middle of the pack quite a lot. Taylor has dropped down into P14, unfortunately. Not too sure if he got unlucky with the safety car there. But yeah, really good to see, obviously, Jay back up to P6, even with that bad front wing issue in the last safety car. And then Ben Mitchell creeping his way up through to P12 there. So yeah, decent work by the McLarens. But hopefully they can gain a few more positions before the end of the race. And interesting to see as well, Jay Robinson still has that 3-second time penalty, which he didn't serve in the pits.
Yeah, quick rundown. Everybody in the top 6 is on older tyres, and anybody between P7 and P15 have just boxed for new tyres under a safety car. So that just shows the different strategies, and I think the people who haven't pit are going to be struggling really badly at the end.
Yeah, there we go. So Hikes just left the session there. Both Alfa Romeos out of the Grand Prix. But yeah, it's absolutely... I don't know, the safety car's going around once more, so there's obviously some tyre barriers or something they've got to repair here before we can get racing again.
Yeah, I believe we're just waiting for Smits to come around the back of the grid, back of the order, sorry. And yeah, he's... I think safety car will be in this lap. All drivers are nice and tight. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward to what they can make work on this restart.
Yeah, certainly so. The time, there you go, the timings have now fixed on the grid here, as all the drivers are slowly but surely going round. Again, we're on the new safety car rules, so the drivers can't go side by side on the safety car restart. They have to be behind one another, with no front wings, obviously, in front of the rear wheels of the car in front. But yeah, I mean, it's been really good so far, and yeah, Ferrari 1-2 at the moment. Whether or not they can keep that, whether or not they'll be pressured by the new fresh medium runners behind, anything can happen, to be honest, Casper.
Yeah, Max Chapman is actually the leader for the people who have pit, meaning he's going to have a massive advantage. Everybody ahead of him is on older tyres. He's probably going to cut through them very easily. But Joe Foxall, 10 lap old.
Oh,
mediums ready, 10 laps to go. He's going to be feeling the pressure, surely.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Again, you saw Joel want to try and go in the pits, you know, tease Max into there, and then he just backed out at the last minute. So, yeah, I don't think those Ferraris are going to pit for another 10 laps, I'll be honest with you. They're staying on those tyres.
Yeah, Callum is going to do... Callum is going to have to do absolute wonders on the medium tyres. He's probably going to give Joel a very good margin to break away from the rest of the pack. He needs to slow everybody right the way down.
Yeah, as he's
you
just
know,
going
if
to
he's
do
doing it for the team, Joel Foxall needs to pull away as much as possible.
Yeah, certainly. So I think I'll ride on board here with Alex Peak here for the safety car restart. To be interesting, obviously, to get a nice view of Casper if he can regain that position on Callum, or if he does keep that P3 as they go very close to each other, almost a collision there. But yeah, they know how to drive these cars. They know the margins and the boundaries, and yeah, they're all heating up the tyres. Apart from Alex Peak, he doesn't seem to be heating up his tyres, so not too sure what's going on there.
Yeah, definitely our Iceman of Kenco F1, and I think that's Joel going underway. Callum looks like he's sticking with him, so not really doing what we expected him to do. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so I mean, Joel went a lot sooner than I think everybody really thought there. Way before the turn even went in, and you know that they've got comms. I don't know if they've got comms with each other, but yeah, really good reaction there from both the Ferraris. Casper definitely wasn't expecting that, as we've got Alex Peak here on the inside, with Zach on the outside coming to turn 1. Alex does keep that nice and tidy, coming through turn 1 and turn 2. Yeah, I mean that was nice and tidy. We'll look back a little bit further to the back of the grid here. To Jay Robinson, who has obviously gone very well here. He's lost a position, I think, to Max Chapman there on that restart.
Max Chapman has gone past, and Dylan Hartley gets past Adam Forbes as well. Now it's Josh's turn. He needs to get past on the brand new mediums, and I think he's just done it into the second chicane. Yeah,
I've just seen that there. Adams unfortunately lost out a little bit there from that safety car restart, as we've got Max Chapman hunting down Zach and Alex as well. And yeah, both the Ferraris there leading P1, P2, Casper Meach P3, Alex Peak, Zach, and then Max Chapman very closely behind.
Yeah, tell you what, Callum's doing a brilliant job. He's already held back Casper over 2 seconds to Joel Foxall, so he's not doing a bad job for the team at all. He just needs to keep that calm for road, then I think he's going to do quite well. Yeah, like you said, Max Chapman is now chasing Alex Peak, and I think that's going to happen here as he goes around the outside into Parabolica. Now it's the hunt for Zach P.
Yeah, I mean, can he get 2 moves done within a few corners? We'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, Max Chapman up 2 positions there. These new mediums are working very nicely for him, and he's only sort of 3-4 seconds away from the leader. So yeah, he's planned this one quite well, as he's just going to go on the inside here of Zach. And yeah, I mean, a great drive by Zach there, but unfortunately Max does have the pace advantage here down the straight, and he enters turn 1 in P4.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dylan Hartley's my driver over there as he makes another move into turn 1, already 12 positions from the start.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really spoken much about Andre, but he's down to P10. He started P2.
Yeah, Andres had a nightmare of a session. Obviously, under that safety car, I'm pretty sure he spun and there was a lot of contact. So, nightmare session for him, but he can make it back now with a move on Josh, deny them from some constructor points.
Oh, and Mitchell's out.
I didn't quite spot that. I don't know when that happened, but yeah, Jay getting in the way of Josh O'Meara and Andre. Andre down 2 more positions, had to take runoff.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there with Ben Mitchell, but he is out of the Grand Prix. I'm not sure if that was a retirement, something wrong with the car. I can't say there was a collision, but there might have been something happen there. So it's a shame to see Ben out of the race, but that's 3 retirements at the moment. 15 drivers still in the Grand Prix, as hopefully the McLaren can pull some points here with Jay Robinson.
Yeah, Josh O'Meara struggling to make the, you know, moves on the new mediums, but Max Chapman certainly isn't, already up into P4 within a second of Casper Meach, meaning he will get DRS on the second straight, not down here, and then the hunt continues for Joel Foxall.
Yeah, certainly so. It's obviously he looks too far away, to be honest, to get Casper here into turn 1, as he sets a new fastest lap of a 1:22.781 there, not decimal point. Too much flight sim.
Yeah, of course, and Dylan Hartley, you know, as Casper Meach and Max Chapman continue to scrap, Dylan Hartley's going to start making more and more moves. Yeah, and I did
there's a Haas as well, I just seen there, going on off the turn-off point there, going round. He's lost a few positions there, unfortunately. But yeah, Meach still within a second of McGrath, and then Chapman within, well, very close right now to the back of Casper Meach.
Yeah, Casper Meach and Max Chapman are going to lob the DRS down into Ascari. It's obviously going to be here, detection point into the second Lesmo. And Max Chapman, what a brilliant run on Casper. I think he's going to be able to make the move into Ascari.
Yeah, they both have DRS open right now, though, so it'll be interesting to see which one does come out on top. Max Chapman does indeed get that position, but can he make it stick through the chicane here? It looks like he has.
Yeah, now Callum, a little bit of a weak run for a Sky, that's what it looked like. Max Chapman with DRS right on him now, down the main straight. This is going to get interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not so sure if the DRS was actually open there. But yeah, Ryan's retired from the session as well. That is our 4th retirement, unfortunately, of the session, but that hasn't caused any yellow flags or anything, as Callum is feeling the pressure right now as he's almost went into the pits, but he decided not to. Not too sure if he crossed the white line there, but we'll have to see that one as the DRS opens for Max Chapman and Casper Meech. And we'll get a nice helicopter shot here of Max Chapman overtaking Callum into turn 1. But Callum's not given up that position easily.
Yeah, Callum going very deep, going very defensive. Joel's going to absolutely love that. 4 seconds separation to Joel Foxall. And look at this, only 6 laps left.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there was more, to be honest with you. But yeah, Callum could do Joel a really big favour here. But it doesn't look like that favour is going to last too long as they almost come into contact. Callum decides to take the runoff area there of that turn. He's not sure if he gained an advantage there. But
yeah, that's going to definitely be looked at by the stewards. Joel's going to be absolutely loving it, and he does decide to give the position back. But was that before the DRS line?
We'll have to get a replay of that. We got that on the stream anyway, as Casper Meech is trying to get that the time regained. But yeah, it does look like Max Chapman is currently in front, or I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. They keep fighting the position. No one knows who's currently P2 or P3 as they come very closely here into the final few turns of lap 21.
I'm not quite sure what I'm watching here. There's definitely going to be a lot of investigations. Casper Meech, Callum McGrath, Dylan Hartley and Max Chapman all very close to each other. Max Chapman playing for mind game, going for that DRS.
Yeah, Max Chapman slowing down there to let these guys fight as Dylan Hartley comes out and literally out of nowhere into P3 right now with Casper Meech into P2.
Yeah, this is absolute scenes. Dylan Hartley with DRS wide and open down into turn 1. Reckon what? I think that's going to be Callum that's going to take him as well.
Yeah, Callum's losing positions, gaining positions. I don't even know what's happening here. No one even knows as Joel Foxall still continues to gain positions here. And yeah, I mean, that's Dylan Hartley P2, Callum P3. And it looks like Max and Casper are still fighting out there for P4 and P5.
Joel is just running away with it. 5 laps left. 6-second margin from Dylan Hartley. I don't think there's going to be much these guys will be able to do against Joel now.
No, I mean, Dylan's on the soft tyres as well with 5 laps remaining. So Dylan's played this off very well with the tyre compound as Max Chapman overtakes Casper Meech here, eyeing up a move on Callum, sorry. Gosh, they all begin with C's here, don't they?
Max Chapman and Callum. I think Callum's been his kryptonite this session.
Yeah.
He just can't find a way past or budging each other off the track. But I think here, when he's like that much clear, I think heading into the sky, that's just going to be an easy overtake. Yeah,
absolutely. There's Max Chapman into the podium position of P3. And yeah, he's on the mediums and Dylan's on the soft tyres here. So yeah, it's absolutely insane. I'm speechless almost.
Yeah, Dylan's still in pursuit, 5 laps left. He's pretty much gained a second of this lap alone, so that just shows the pace of the soft tyre. But, you know, he's just coming across the timeline, and Joel Foxall is pretty much at his breaking point for turn 1. Yeah,
Dylan absolutely on fire there with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, stealing it from Max Chapman's hands and trying to gain those vital few 100ths of a second as we have a yellow flag into Sector 1. I'm not too sure what happened there.
I think it was Matthew Widdowson, a bit of a spin maybe. But
yeah,
but
blue flags. I believe so.
Blue flags, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that slowed Joel Foxall down too much, but it's another half a second for Dylan Hartley.
Certainly so, yeah. Loads of action at the back, at the front of the grid. I'm not too sure, obviously, what's going on a little bit further back. It looks like it's quite even, though, to be honest with you, with a second gap between quite a few people. Adam, Andre, P11, and then Taylor, P12, Alex, and the AlphaTauris, P13 and P14. Unfortunately, Alex Peak losing out a lot there down into P13, and he was in P4 earlier.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate on the first lap was that P. But taking a look at Josh O'Mara, he's just trying to scrape back any positions he can from the unfortunate double stack. And it seems to be working, but he is still outside the DRS range for Callum.
Yeah, certainly so. And thank you, Charlie, for answering that question. I appreciate it. And yeah, I believe it is JL Motorsport. I believe so for Joel Foxall. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, there's quite close here from the Aston Martin of Zach and the Mercedes of Middelfell. Mercedes doing a lot better in the second half of this race. They were sort of slacking in the first half, but good to see them pushing down their throttle as Dylan gets another fastest lap here of 122.646.
Getting past the back marker now, Dylan 4 seconds with 3 laps to go. It's going to be very difficult. He has to push his car to the limit, use all the ERS he has to try and catch Joel Foxall. And I think that's Archie and Zach P that switch positions.
Yeah, here we go. As Max Chapman's going to be, Matthew Widdowson is going to be blue flagged here to let Max Chapman pass very soon. As Callum's missed out. He's all the way down to P5, unfortunately. He still has a chance, though, to grab back that P4 from Casper, depending on, obviously, if they make mistakes. As Callum makes another mistake here, taking off the runoff. But, yeah, he didn't gain any time from that.
Yeah, Callum is really struggling here on these 16-lap-old mediums.
Yeah.
Dylan Hartley, he is closing in at a rapid rate, but I just don't think it's fast enough, honestly.
No, there's only sort of, 3 laps to go now. 4-second gap between Dylan and Joel. A 2.6-second gap between Chapman and Hartley. And then, yeah, Meech almost 4 seconds behind Max Chapman. I was about to say his teammate, but that was last season.
Yeah, Josh, Callum, and Casper very close together. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so we've got Josh. We'll ride on board with Josh here, as he's just behind Callum. He really wants to get this move done. Josh wants as many points as he can for Red Bull, to steal them from Ferrari. He can't do it into this turn, but he's on the inside here, very, very early on the throttle, coming down to turn one. He's already made the move done before he even gets down the straight. What a move by Josh.
Yeah, Josh getting past, he's going to have the advantage of the DRS, but so is Callum. Casper, but only one without, so Casper's weaving aggressively. Slipstream, and Josh is just going to try and grab that P4.
Yeah, the Casper's reeling them in here with the DRS train, as they obviously get that speed advantage down the straight with the DRS flap open. But yeah, it looks like Joel's still continuing to pull seconds, vital seconds away from Dylan there. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that was a good call by Joel not to pit on the second safety car.
Yeah, Dylan Hartley, 3 seconds to go. It's pretty much a second a lap, a little bit less, but it's just not close enough. You can see him now coming through the second Lesmo. It's within, like, reaching distance, but Jay has had a spin in the second chicane, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, down into P10 there, Jay, losing out, that's causing a yellow flag there. As Zach retired from the session. Yeah, there's a Haas as well on the side of the track. There's loads of cars. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's not going to be a... Is there a safety car? I'm not quite sure.
It's too late to be a safety car as far as I'm concerned. That's an Aston Martin, a Williams, and a Haas, all out of the session. That must have been a bad collision there. We've got loads of yellow flags, loads of debris on the track, but yeah, no safety car. Wow. Yeah,
not quite sure what happened there. I would reckon it would be too late for a safety car to come out, but yeah, I don't know. It looked like a lot of cars were caught up in that.
Yeah.
It's a very bad crash for a bunch of drivers there.
Yeah, credit to Adam Forbes there for getting the car going again without a front wing. He's going to go in the pits, but it might be last position there for Adam. But yeah, GG for him to get the car going again. But yeah, it'll be good if we can get a replay of that if we can. I'm not obviously so sure who was involved, but all these drivers are recording their screens. So, there's what's going on there with Robinson as well.
I think he might have had a spin, but yeah, as we were talking about that, Joshua makes a move on Casper Meech.
Oh, he's got a puncher. Jay Robinson has got a puncher on his front left tyre here.
Yeah, that's 13 laps on those mediums. That definitely isn't long enough. I'm pretty sure he ran over some debris. Maybe where that collision happened. That's probably the most, possible outcome there.
Potentially. I'm not sure if the Ferrari garage might be getting a sweat on here if those medium tyres aren't going to last. But yeah, Jay Robinson comes to the pits along with Adam as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure there. Pirelli might have to investigate that. But the front runner's still going strong, obviously without their safety car. They're on the penultimate lap now. One more lap to go after they cross the line.
Yeah, 1 lap to go. I don't think Dylan's going to really have any chance here of fighting Joel. Max pretty much isn't a threat on those medium tyres. So I think the top few people are going to remain in their order. Only interesting thing to note is Archie making a move on Callum and Casper now having DRS on Josh.
Yeah, Callum's losing out more positions here. He's down to P7, unfortunately, which is where he, I believe, started on the Grand Prix. So those medium tyres are not doing him very well, unless he does have damage. I'm not too sure. It doesn't look like he does, though.
Yeah, certainly not. I think he was just playing there for the DRS, but it hasn't really worked out. Archie's ERS light is also flashing, but yeah, not really much they can do there. If anything, I reckon the more probable overtake is Casper Meech on Josh O'Mara. Yeah,
that's 6 retirees we have in this Grand Prix now. As we've got Hartley almost within a second of Joel Foxall, if the timings are reading correctly here. Oh no, it's now 2 seconds. Okay, they might not be correct. But yeah, I mean, Chapman's still podium position if he does finish P3. And yeah, I mean, Josh done really well as well to regain that P4 there.
Yeah, at this current state, Joel Foxall would continue leading the championship out the sprint race. However, Red Bull would remain constructor champions for the current moment. So, anything can happen. Obviously, it's Formula 1. One misinput of the throttle and you're out the road.
Certainly so, as we'll go on board here with Joel Foxall on lap 27 of 27. He's put up a absolute, well, he's been a little bit lonely out the front, but he's definitely done a lot of defending, I must say.
Joel Foxall coming around the final parabolica. You know, he's won the sprint race here. He pretty much had a perfect qualifying in P2, and he crosses the line to win another race here in Kenco F1.
Yeah, well done to Joel as Dylan Hartley P2, Max Chapman P3, and then we've got Josh Amara, his teammate, P4 there, closely followed by Casper Meach, our step-in driver for today for James Wilson, getting in the points in P5 there as Middlefell. Very good work by Mercedes there to regain those positions. I believe Dylan started second to last in this race, so yeah, let's kind of look at those positions gained and lost once again. 16 positions by Dylan, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, more notably to add as well, Max Chapman getting the fastest lap off the Grand Prix when crossing the line.
Again, it could be another vital point. Max would have wanted every single possible point there for the drivers' constructors. But yeah, I mean, that's absolutely incredible there. To be honest, that was actually one of the best races I've ever seen. There's so much action throughout the entire Grand Prix. Hopefully we caught as much as we could. But yeah, overtaking after overtaking after overtaking. I didn't know where to look.
Yeah, of course, for this calendar, because it's such a short one, we've tried to pick tracks with the with the most overtaking opportunities, with the most strategy, and I think it's paid off so far. You know, absolutely, large amounts of overtake, so many dramas. But I think it was Jay Robinson, Adam Forbes spitting on that last lap. I think Adam Forbes had a bit of wing damage, and Jay Robinson obviously with that puncture.
Yeah, unfortunate. Jay hasn't had the... he's been lucky and unlucky, I think, in this race. But yeah, it all came down to strategy. And there we go. Driver of the day. It does go to Dylan, according to the game. And do you know what? I would give him... I'll give him the driver of the day as well. From P18 up to P2. Incredible.
Right, we're on the podium. Joel Foxall, P1. P1 in the sprint race. P1 here. He's gained pretty much the most amount of points he can, except for the fastest lap. So, brilliant weekend from him.
Yeah, absolutely incredible to see the drivers celebrate that one, as if we can get some GGs in the chat as well. That was a lot of fun, guys. Did you enjoy that? That was good. We'll go and speak with some of the drivers as well to hear their views on the race and what they thought of it. But yeah, GG.
Yeah, Ferrari must be ecstatic. Sorry. Obviously, constructor winners here tonight, and no, we're not. Sorry, I think they are. Maybe I don't know.
Sorry, say that again.
But I don't think Ferrari won the constructors here, did they today?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Casper apparently had floor damage as well, Casper Meach. So yeah, very good drive from him. And to be honest with you, every single driver who did participate, even those who did unfortunately retire from the session, massive GG to you. And to be honest, that was a lot of clean racing, apart from maybe lap 25.
Yeah, a lot of drivers here. You know, Ferrari winning at their home Grand Prix. The crowd must be, going wild at the moment. So yeah, definitely not bad. Joel taking the lead, holding onto that lead of the championship throughout this weekend, and I bet he can carry that momentum through.
Yeah, we'll go and speak with some of the drivers, see who wants to talk. But yeah, I mean that's absolutely incredible. Look, grid 18 to grid 2. Sorry, yeah, Dylan P18 to P2, Max Chapman P11 to P3. And then Josh remaining on his position P4 to P4. Casper up a few positions there. And same with, to be honest, there's loads of positions here. The only people that did lose out quite a lot, I think, was Andre there.
Yeah, Andre definitely losing out a lot this weekend. But yeah, I've got Joel Foxall here with us now. P1 to P1, pole position, 8 points from the sprint race and 25 here. You must be thrilled.
I'm so happy. Obviously, the home race for Ferrari and taken really maximum points apart from that one for the fastest lap in the race, and for the sprint race actually. If you get a point for that, I don't even know. But I'm so happy. Callum fought an absolutely incredible defense today, and without Callum, he would have definitely. I wouldn't have won without Callum defending so hard, and I'm just so happy, man. It's just great. I'm so happy.
Talk us through the second safety car there, Joel, where you were going in the pits and then you backed out last second, because that decision there probably won you this race.
Yeah, I mean, I had my team, Charlie and Callum. We were both skeptical. We both disagreed. I disagreed with Charlie for saying stay out, and I very nearly did go in for softs when everyone was on mediums and pitting for fresh mediums. So, it was a very tight call. And before going through Curva Arboreto, I knew I wasn't going to pit, but I wanted to make it look like I was going to pit so people around me would pit. I wanted that track position over everyone, and that's definitely what won me the races, including, Callum. So, yeah, be cool.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. So yeah, well done, Joel, on that P1, and that obviously, you keep that driver constructors P1 with that one as well. But yeah, great drive from you. And what do you any news about your teammate? I'm not sure where he finished actually.
Yeah, I'm
P7.
pretty sure he picked up some side pod damage
Ah,
after the
okay.
safety car, so unfortunately he was quite paceless, to be honest. But you know, he still managed to defend off and drive a really good race for where he started. I think he gained a position. I'm not sure where he finished. I think it was 7th. I think he started 8th, maybe, or it was 7th. I'm not sure, but
great drive from
race
both
from
of
him.
you though. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun to commentate and watch, and I'm sure you'll want to look back at some of those moments.
For sure. Yeah. Thanks, boys.
Cheers.
Right, I'll go grab. I think I'll have a driver up for
Of
days.
course.
Just give me a moment.
Go ahead. Yeah, honestly, everybody tuning in as well, watching, thank you ever so much for watching. I'm sorry it's not been any flight sim, but I promise you there'll be more flight sim this week. I keep muting myself, like loads this evening, but hopefully, yeah, we can get some flight sim in. But hopefully you enjoyed that F1 Grand Prix as we're just gonna have a word with Dylan Hartley. Dylan, driver of the day. What a race!
Thank you. Oh, that was intense.
Right, P2, not a win, but I definitely can say you won't be disappointed with that. So, looking forward, where are you trying to take this this driver championship?
Well, I'm trying to win it, obviously, but at the moment, I'm trying to look for P2, P3, maybe. Trying to get back up there.
Yeah, I mean P18 though to P2. I mean, what was your strategy?
Well, as soon as the rain stopped, I boxed 1 lap earlier than everyone else onto the slicks. I gambled, and that paid off. I gained a few positions while everyone else boxed. And then under the second safety car, first or second, I can't remember. Everyone went onto the mediums.
Yep.
And
Second,
me and my teammate gambled onto the softs because I knew I could hang the softs out until the end. So, and then I just pulled off loads of moves with the softs while everyone else was on those mediums. My softs just fired up, and I just went for it.
Just reeled yourself through the grid, and ended up on a podium P2. So yeah, what was your highlight of the race? What was the best moment if you could pick one?
Oh, that would be difficult.
Is there any sort of overtake which stuck out, or
probably? I think the one around the outside of Parabolica.
Yes.
On the second to last lap. I'm not sure if you
potentially we'll have to look back. But yeah, there was so many people doing overtakes in the most bizarre places, but they worked. They absolutely worked.
Right, yeah, I'll go get one more driver. Yeah,
okay.
Dylan, congrats on your P2. That's definitely bumped you up a bunch of places in the championship. So yeah, good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Yeah, so we'll get one more driver in here, guys, and then we will head out for the evening. But hopefully you enjoyed that. Obviously, the real life F1 as well. Hopefully you did enjoy watching Imola as well, as I'm not too sure which driver we're going to get here. But we'll find out.
We've got Callum in here. I'm not sure if he wants to do an interview.
Sure, man.
Let's do it.
So, not finished up high up the order, but definitely a crucial part to why your team won today. So what's your view on it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously after having to serve that grid penalty, it was paramount that we got back to the front. I mean, I knew I was never going to be in the running for the win in this race. I'm not very good in mixed conditions, but I could certainly help my teammate do that, and I think I did that. That start was absolutely perfect. Slow start from hikes on the outside and everyone on the inside. I managed to get down into turn 1. So, yeah, good start. Set us up for the rest of the race, really.
Yeah, one thing to note, on the closing stages of the race after the second safety car, we saw a lot of conflict, a lot of touching, runoff being used between you and Max Chapman. What are your views on that?
Yeah, it's just hard racing, really. I mean, my job there was to hold him up as much as possible. My teammate depends on that. And in the end, it pulled it out. But, like, if 2 into 1 never happens, so I did actually have to nurse orange side pod damage all the way from the end of the second safety car. So I was really slow on the straights. But I could make it up where it mattered in the corners. I think a couple times forced Max into a mistake, even when I was just behind. And then obviously people behind me capitalized on that. Dylan, namely one of them. But you know, it's all part of the game.
Yeah, maybe not such a result individually, but for a team, you know, they're going to be going wild in that garage. Definitely happy for that one. So, you know, you've gained a lot of constructor points. Your teammate's still leading the championship as it currently stands. So, yeah, just good luck to Ferrari for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, the points from yesterday, getting my first points of the season, obviously after a disappointing engine failure in Bahrain, getting them in the sprint race, being able to now, this race, get some points as well, 5 or so. Yeah, will really help in terms of the constructors, so thanks for that.
Yeah, well done, Callum. And yeah, I don't know. Is that gonna be it? Is that gonna be it, or?
Man, as we want to get Casper, he's in here anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I about to say I just saw Casper pop in. I'm not sure if he wants to have a word or not.
I can
hello.
do.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Casper, talk us through the race. What was obviously I understand you had some underbody damage or side pod damage.
Yeah, I got that pretty much on the third lap. It was a little bit unlucky. I slightly touched the curb, and because we have some very broken physics, I got some pretty heavy floor damage, which I had to nurse out the rest of the race. But I think if I didn't have that damage, maybe looking at P4, P3. But that's some good. P5 is a good place to finish considering the issues I had.
Oh, was it P5? I put P4. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, obviously you and Max and obviously Callum having quite a nice fight there as obviously after the second safety car. I mean, was you happy with your strategy? Would you have wanted to do it differently, or I'm not sure. Obviously, what were your decisions there?
I wasn't quite totally happy. I think Max and Josh had the better strategy. I didn't expect the second safety car. I think Dylan obviously had the ideal strategy, but it could have been worse. I think obviously I had much more wear than Josh and Max, and there was a few places where Max lost it a couple of times. I definitely had the opportunity to overtake, but I just didn't want to take that risk and try and secure those points. So.
Yes. All right, that was a helpful insight. And onto, I think, Baku we go now. Yes, Baku, race round number 3.
Yeah, that is, I believe that is back to a normal event, so it won't be a sprint race next week, but we will be live again for quali on Saturday on the Kenco F1 channel, and potentially the race again on this channel, which will be at Baku, 17:30 UK time, and all these drivers will be going at it again around Azerbaijan. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody, and this VOD will probably be on YouTube as well. So yeah, massive thank you, and I don't know if we happy?
Yeah, I think we're happy.
Awesome. See you guys. Have a good one. Enjoy your evening, and I'll be live at some point this week, maybe. Bye. See ya.